With the power to bring people together or just help us escape the world, gaming is more than just a game. So join me, Ziggy Chris, as I speak to developers, content creators, and gamers like you and me to discover how each of us was saved by gaming. Welcome in, everyone. Today on Saved by Gaming, we welcome in Airyn De Niro, voice actress, model, and proud trans woman. Daughter of Robert De Niro and Tukey Smith, Airyn is forging her own path using gaming for both escape and empowerment. Airyn's story is one of courage, creativity, and connection, and I can't wait to dive into the games that shaped her and the future she's building, one pixel at a time. So, welcome in, Airyn. Nice to meet you.
Hi, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate it.
Most welcome. And if you don't mind me telling the world out there, I was quite flattered because you actually reached out to me
Yeah,
to compliment one of the recent episodes I did with Steph Sanyati.
yes.
And so it's great to have that conversation with you. And then here we are.
I'm flattered. Thank you so much for accepting me on here in your space. Yeah, when I saw Steph's episode, I thought, wow, this is something very unique. Everybody has a podcast now, but none of them really go in depth like I think yours does when it comes to how gaming really influences lives. So, yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
Nice. On that note, so I guess in terms of that episode connected with you, and gaming obviously therefore connects with you. And before we dive into anything specific, is there a particular thing on this topic that drives you?
I think that what really made me want to reach out is ever since my coming out publicly, people have really associated me more with the acting and modeling world because of my family and their roles in those different empires. But gaming is one of the biggest parts of my life. I've been doing it since I was little. And from all like interviews I've done and speaking with people, even not in interviews, just meeting folks, nobody's really asked me about that part of my life. And I think that's one of the more eager sides that I'm more eager to share. Yeah.
On that thought, then, you said it's been with you since the beginning. So where does it start for you? Is there a particular game early on that is where is your journey in gaming start? Like, where's your earliest memory in terms of games that hooked you as a youngster?
My earliest memory of gaming would probably have to be, I don't know the exact age, but I am a 95 baby.
Okay,
So I grew up playing like Nintendo 64 and Game Boy Advance, Game Boy SP. Like I've seen all the iterations of the Game Boy, like 3DS and all that. But yeah, the earliest would be Nintendo 64, PlayStation era, I would
okay.
say.
Banjo-Kazooie.
I definitely had Banjo and Kazooie, had Pokemon. It might have been Stadium, one of the original Spider-Man games, and then there was also a Kirby game that I had. I forget the name of it, but yeah, it was a
Nice.
bunch of it was in those like thick gray cartridges you stick on top of the N64.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
fun.
That was good because your face lit up the moment you actually started to click on some games there.
Yeah.
So, what was the first game that truly captivated you then, and why?
The first game that truly captivated me, it'd probably have to be my like favorite game ever and like overall like favorite series and like in anything ever. It would be Kingdom Hearts.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. And what is it about Kingdom Hearts at that age that we're talking about? Is it just the fact that it was Disney or something specific?
I think it was the fact that yes, it had that Disney like element, of course. So it fueled the nostalgia factor for me growing up watching Disney animated films, but also that beautiful Final Fantasy side of it, which I wasn't super familiar with at the time. I know that there were some earlier Final Fantasy games that had come out before Kingdom Hearts, and I was never into those, but I would always be told how gorgeous like the story is and the music and the characters and their development was. And
Hmm.
so I got to experience that the first time through playing Kingdom Hearts. But even without the Final Fantasy side, just in its own unique bubble, Kingdom Hearts has like I just love the way that they express themes of light and darkness and how they convey emotion through music, especially. Like, the music is like the majority of what I love about the series. I listen to the soundtrack for all the games whenever.
Yeah. I have a bunch of gaming soundtracks that I love listening to because then it's like that. I suppose it's modern, I don't want to say replacement, but like the modern equivalent of classical music for like
Mm,
fills that space, especially if I want to get work done and you don't want lyrics. And it
exactly.
just brings you that memory, whether it's like Skyrim soundtracks or
Yeah.
I don't know, something else will spring to mind in a moment. But yeah, it's like the modern equivalent of that for me in my mind.
Yeah.
And so I have to ask, was did you play many games with you? Because I know you've got a bunch of siblings, and
Mm-hmm.
also obviously, as we mentioned, a very public family. But did you play many games with family growing up? Was it a family thing, or was it just something you took yourself away, and that's my thing? Did it incorporate the family in any way?
I think gaming for me wasn't really done a lot with family. The
Okay.
most I can think of was my twin and I would play games together. It wasn't that many. I think really the two games we played in tandem were Smash Bros. Melee and then like the Pokemon series. And we would play that like with my cousin and just you trade, you battle, stuff like that. But the majority of the time, I was just gaming solo.
Hmm.
Sometimes when my brother's friends were over, like I had some guy friends, but not really. I would game with them. That was like, those were the people I would game with the majority of the time. It was difficult because I didn't get with my family, and most of my friends were girls. And at that age, I don't think many of them were really interested in video games. It was also a
Hmm.
different time, like early 2000s. So there was still that stigma, which is still there, of women enjoying video games. So it's understandable why they wouldn't partake. But yeah, it was mostly me just going solo.
Yeah, no, I can totally relate. And I was quite a feminine boy growing up, and I had a lot of mainly female friends as well. It was, yeah, tricky. And I understand that totally. Did it feel like gaming was then more than just, was it an escapism or a safe space? Was it like something that this is mine? Or did it become any kind of safe space for you?
Yes, gaming was definitely a safe space for me. I mean, I think a lot of kids can relate, especially those who are LGBT plus, having that sense of not feeling like they belong in terms of their own household or their academic environment. And I definitely felt that in both places. Also, just having growing up with both of my parents not being together, I was raised to go between households growing up, which was very stressful. So, video games offered a sense of familiarity and stability, and consistency, I would say.
Mm.
Yeah. And it was also like I didn't do this specifically. I didn't play games specifically for this reason, but video games was also like the only way I would say I could relate to guys at that age.
Okay. You mean through discussing certain games or as like a topic?
Yeah, as a
Or,
topic or even just like playing them.
right,
Because
okay.
other than that, it's like I was a very effeminate boy growing up. And in that time period, it was not that great to be not fit in the mold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it became a safe space. Was there any particular games during that period or during your journey that you felt have got you through tough times or been saviors at certain points? Obviously, I know in the past, and I don't know if these are things later on, I believe you're a big League of Legends player at one point as well.
Yes. Yes.
But are there particular points where certain games have been high moments of protection for you?
I would say the games that really brought me comfort through the ages would probably be Kingdom Hearts is the top one. Any of those games in the series. The Pokemon games, because I think before like Discord, before online gaming, before I like was a PC gamer, I only did like console and handheld.
Hmm.
Pokemon offered me comfort in the sense of community and getting to engage with other folks, even if it was just over like that one specific game or series. Whereas Kingdom Hearts and the entire series itself offered me a lot of comfort in, I guess you could say, escapism, but also like understanding myself and allowing myself to imagine, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So when I spoke to Steph recently in a recent episode, as you mentioned, I we discussed a lot about it helped her explore identity, expressing herself through different characters growing up, whether it was making a female character and stuff like that. Have, did you resonate with any of that, or was this not a thing for you? Because again, it's different for everyone, and I just wondered if that was anything that you connected on.
No, that's definitely something I connected on. I always picked the girl character growing up. I'm sure a lot of trans women who play games can relate. Whenever there was a character customization thing, whether it was in like Club Penguin, one of the later Pokemon games where you could pick your trainer's gender, World of Warcraft, anything like that, I would always be drawn towards the more effeminate things as much as possible. It's funny because even now, I prefer games where I can play a strong female lead. I have nothing against male main characters. It's just, I don't know. I don't have as much fun playing them. There's a
Hmm.
few. It's like Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, even Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. I liked those a lot. The only like exception where I'm like, okay, yeah, I love like this guy character is like the guys from Kingdom Hearts, specifically Sora. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's like my all-time favorite game, but I
Okay,
definitely
I got that.
related.
I got that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
No,
definitely
that
like related to what Steph said. That's why character customization is so important to me and why I love MMOs.
yeah, yeah. And so did again, as I mentioned to Steph, I connected on that a lot as well because I like you say, I think it's a huge thing for I think whether you consider yourself LGBTQ or not,
Right.
just it's just a good way. I think when you're growing up, it allows people to explore ideas and thoughts and expression
Hmm.
and things. And even if you end up very vanilla, shall I say, I don't know how to
Yeah.
express it, but that it's just a free,
Right.
it's a playground, isn't it, for you to
Yeah,
explore yourself.
exactly.
But as well as that, obviously at first you said it meant gaming allowed you to connect with people just in terms of conversation.
Mhm.
As you got older and you said like Discord and things have come into play, online gaming potentially, has the gaming world allowed you also to connect with people, find your tribe, so to speak, to find people of the same mind or helped you connect with other people of similar ilk?
Yes, I would 100% say that is accurate. As I've developed my gaming journey into more online spaces, particularly when I started gaming on PC,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I found it easier to make connections with people and find different groups or tribes to be in. I think just like even outside of the gaming sphere, people go through periods in their life where they become part of a tribe and then something happens or you just lose connection with people and eventually move on and you find more folks. That has definitely happened with me more than once. But gaming, especially thanks to Discord and I would say the League of Legends community, meeting other players and people through there, I've been able to pick and choose who I want to not keep around, but how do I say this? Not have in my roster, but just keep a part of my life and close to me. If that makes sense. I learned to, instead of wanting to become part of someone else's tribe, I just make my own. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like the thing of you have the family that you're born with, and then you have the family that you choose,
Right.
and that's you. You can still love your birth family, whoever they are, but then there's like your friend group or the people that you establish as like your. When I say family, like your
No,
friend
exactly.
circle that you build. I think that's what we're getting at.
Yeah. And you do get to experience milestones and very pivotal moments in your life with biological family, of course. I also understand that not everybody has the pleasure or the lucky enough scenario to have that kind of dynamic with their birth family. So that's why I think gamers, especially queer gamers in the LGBT space, can relate to the chosen family aspect of whether it's a team that you're playing with or like people you meet outside of those online worlds. Yeah, I would say that's been a big part of my gaming journey.
Mm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And so you mentioned at one point in the last bits we've been talking about female, like strong female characters. Are there particular strong female characters in gaming that have resonated with you? I've just thought of that as you mentioned it, and I wondered if there's particular characters that stand out.
I think that that just stand out to me, strong female characters in games would be Zelda from Kingdom Hearts, or oh my God, Zelda from The Legends of Zelda.
Mm.
It's funny, I never played through an entire Zelda game, but I always played her in the Smash Bros. Series.
Okay.
So I love her. I love Sheik. And like one of my favorite characters ever is a girl named Aqua from the Kingdom Hearts series. And then there's just so many to pick from in League of Legends, but I have always been a fan of Ahri and Evelynn, especially Evelynn, because one of my greatest inspirations and good friend is Juno, who voices her. And she like oozes confidence. But yeah, those are some strong female characters, I would say. Oh, and then
Mm.
Miko from Genshin Impact. I love like all the Hoyoverse games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've played a bunch of those. I missed Genshin, but I played a bunch of Zenless and what's the other one?
Those
I've just completely blanked on the name of one of the other ones. But yeah, they're great.
Star
They're
Rail,
very
Honkai Star Rail.
Yes, Honkai Star Rail. Yeah, I won't linger on that because I'll go down a massive rabbit hole.
Oh no, please
Um,
go down the rabbit hole. I love
yeah,
those
yeah.
games.
But yeah, the art for what the art style, I think more than
Yes.
anything is great. And I'm definitely not a whale. I spend no money, but I just get very addictive in the wrong way, and then have to put too much time in to earn enough credit to then be able to
This
get
is
the 5 star that I really want. It's a tricky balance.
yeah,
The time ratio.
it is. Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love those games. I would die to be in one of Hoyo versus Big Three. So fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a great game. I really like those games. I know, yeah, they're all quite different, but I love them. So, what do you think makes games uniquely powerful as a tool for healing and self-discovery? We've touched on some themes, but
Mhm.
and obviously, as we mentioned, the theme of the podcast hit you. But is there particular things that you think make gaming this powerful healing tool?
I think that what makes gaming a powerful healing tool is the relationships you make with other people and you discovering aspects of yourself that you see in characters in the games you play where you're at, and then aspects of characters in games you play that inspire you to better your life or change something about yourself. There's nothing wrong with change, and I think that seeing someone else do it in a game, especially when it's like fantastical in a way, really pushes the desire to make that change or shift things in your own life yourself.
Very well said. Very well said. You mentioned already at least one thing you would like to voice. And by the way, actually, this is gonna be a terrible edit for me that I'm gonna have to because I keep going back on different ideas.
No problem.
But that's my job, not yours, so I can worry about that. when we were talking about, you were talking about League of Legends and then also just different female characters. Obviously, I missed the kind of League of Legends bandwagon in terms of being a player of it. But like
Mm.
most people, I loved Arcane, which
Oh
the
my God.
animated
I
series.
love
So
art.
then Jinx just came to mind as
Yeah.
there's a great female character. I know that's like
Hmm.
slightly different, but I take it you demolished that like I did because it was amazing.
Oh, I adored Arcane. Yes. It was one of the best shows, one of the best animated shows ever made.
Clearly, yeah, yeah. I know another one. If they ever do another one, there's another one to put on your hit list.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And with that being said, is there any, if you could dream job, voice anything that you wanted, be it previous or future, is there any other games you'd be like, I'd love to put my voice in that one, or a
Oh
particular
my God.
character even?
Honestly, I try to keep my voice and my heart and my mind open to any character. I also don't want to come off as a picky diva for someone who hasn't established themselves
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the VO world, but I would be so happy to voice literally any character from, like I said, Hoyoverse's Big Three, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, or Zenless Zone Zero. League of Legends, I'd love to audition a champion in that game, hopefully, maybe one day. And then I know Pokemon doesn't really do VO stuff for the games, but if they start, I would love that. Or even like World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I would love
Hmm.
to.
Yeah, yeah. So imagine, obviously, you've got a load of games that we're already discussing that you love over the years, but are there particular games that you think would be a great gaming prescription for someone if someone's having a bad day
Mm.
or a tough time? Which games? It could be from your collection of things that you love or whatever that you think actually, yeah, you should go play. You should go play that game.
I think a game that you could play when you're having a tough time. Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. To any of the Kingdom Hearts games, of course,
Hmm.
it's just, it just takes your mind off of all the BS you're dealing with and just puts you in such a, I don't want to say a trance, but the mood that it can put you in, especially through the sound and the music and the magic. Those are like all my feel good games. Even though they're very action packed, I love action packed games. I'm not really like a slice of life kind of gamer.
Hmm.
So I'd recommend those. And if you play with friends, I love a good roguelike. Highly recommend a good roguelike. They're so fun.
Yeah.
Anything collaborative.
Oh, yeah. I love collaborative play and team play. And
Mm-hmm.
do you play anything tabletop wise, by the way, as well as just computer games? Is that a part of your world or not?
I would if I like had people around me to do that, but I don't. The majority of my, again, like chosen family and friends, they're scattered
Mm.
across the US, just again, like from gaming. I also think it's harder to create and maintain friendships with people in real life as we get older. So gaming has been a big part of that.
Yeah. No, I get it. And there's some. So I'm going to roll on to another question in a sec, but I to bounce off that, I totally agree. I'm a mid 40s dad, and one of
No,
the
you're
main.
not.
I am, yeah.
I thought
And
you were like early mid 30s.
no, I'm getting old. Thank you so much. I'll keep that reaction in the edit for sure. And there's certain friends that I can have moved away from my hometown or whatever in different places. Like you say, people
Yeah,
drift and work in different places. Some people have even
right.
moved countries. And so being able to jump on a game and play together and then chat as you play,
Yeah.
it's beyond a phone call because you are doing something and you're sharing an experience, but then you chat
Hmm.
around your day. And I think that
Exactly.
is a big part of what modern gaming has brought us. We,
Hmm.
on the one hand, we've lost a bit of the sit down in front of the TV next to someone on a sofa and do the co-op because that's drifted away
Right.
a little bit. But
Mm.
we've expanded into this thing of being able to connect with someone thousands of miles away, and
Yeah.
whether it's a friend that's moved away or someone that you've never met that you have just connected with on a like an
Yeah.
ethereal level. And so it sounds like that's been a thing for you. We mentioned about finding your tribe, but and that's still a thing for you as you grow up. You mentioned people like it's scattered, so that
Oh,
that
I think
thing.
so. I think it's, sorry, I didn't mean to cut
Yeah,
you
yeah,
off. I
go.
think it's something that will happen to anybody like throughout their lifetime. I think it's really hard or like unlikely for someone to just find like one group that they're just with all the time, whether it's their own family or friendships they've made in like lower school, middle school, high school, or even friends as they've made through gaming. Like sometimes games shut down, sometimes people get burnout from playing certain games and they don't want to touch it anymore. And that was like the one way they could stay connected with communities they've made or have been a part of. But yeah, I would say for me, that is something that I think keeps happening. And I've come to accept that will keep happening. But I hold on to the branches, the good branches I want to keep. That makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
And they're usually like along for the ride as well.
Yeah. So when we're talking about friendships and distance and things like that, in the reverse of that, have you made any friends when online through your like finding your community, whether that's on your transition journey or anything else, that then you finally got to meet them in the real world later on? Have you had any experiences like that?
Oh, yeah. I've met tons of friends who I first met from a video game or just Discord from like a mutual friend or something. And I've met them in real life. It's really nice. Part of it is like seeing an old friend, someone you missed, even though you haven't met them. And then part of it is obviously nerve wracking because it's like I'm meeting somebody for the first time. But I think your walls drop a bit more and you're more comfortable to be vulnerable when you're gaming with someone because you're in a very emotional state. So it does sometimes feeling like you're meeting an old friend. And then depending on how it goes, you keep seeing them whenever you can. Yeah, I've done that. Highly recommend it. If you trust someone that you've met online through gaming,
Mm-hmm.
just keep your wits about you. Obviously, use street smarts, common sense, and then if everything goes accordingly, it should be a wonderful experience.
Yeah, I mean, for to refer back to like my very first episode, I mentioned part of the reason I started this podcast was I
Mm.
played World of Warcraft for years,
Oh,
and there was a really tough period of my life where Mrs. Ziggy Chris was very ill and everything was not great and things were looking very
yeah.
bleak, and so being alone all the time while they were in hospital was a very tough period,
Mm.
and so the World of Warcraft community that I had in TeamSpeak at that time and like all that kind of thing was really
Mm.
comforting. And I think like
Right.
for a lot of people, like you've expressed, being able to connect with people who are not near you when you've got no one near you
Right.
allowed me a kind of like outlet, if you like, to
Yeah.
have people around me. And I finally got to meet one of those people like 2 years later that had been
No.
helping me through Warcraft. And that hug, they were from Germany and working in briefly in London. And so I traveled
Mm.
down to meet them and get a real life hug from the person who'd helped me through a really tough time.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm putting that out there for anyone that missed it, partly go back and check it because I broke my heart on that episode. And also just to remind everyone that those experiences can be really tangible and amazing
Yeah.
to find comfort in your community.
They really can. Yeah. And I know that is definitely the case for people who like build their careers off of gaming. They, whether it's like a meet and greet where you're like super famous or you have a small community that makes sense who like
Mm-hmm.
follow you on Twitch or something and you meet them, go on like a trip together or something. It's becoming more common. And those people can like, just because they're hundreds or thousands of miles away doesn't mean they can't change your life for the better.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you. I just went off on that ramble, but I think
No, it was
so.
adorable. I think people need to hear that. Like, there are good scenarios where that happens.
Yeah, thank you. Is there any particular now that you've been on this journey and you're out and you've transitioned and is there any particular games or do you have any thoughts on representation in games of whether it's transgender people in gaming or have you played any good games with I'm trying to think of characters in games. There aren't that many in terms of, and I didn't actually touch on this much with Steph and I probably should have. And I'm trying to think if I've played any games with many transgender characters in, and I don't think I have. Have you?
I can't think of a game where there was like a confirmed transgender character. The only thing I can think of, and this isn't even a character you can play, it was Hogwarts Legacy when that came out. I didn't beat it. I should really play it.
Yeah, I played it. Yeah.
Despite the bullshit, I understand that the Harry Potter world is very healing for some
Mm.
and helps them connect with their inner child. I know what that's, and I would not want to tell anybody to not do that. But there's a bartender in it, I think, or they like own an inn, and I think they're trans. I don't want to assume, but that's like the only thing I've really seen. Yeah, I came up with a character concept for League of Legends like a couple years ago, and
Mhm.
people seem to love it. If they decide to add their first trans character, then yeah, let me know. I'll totally let them use the design and everything, and I'll be happy to voice it. So,
Nice. Yeah, I think you're right. I remember playing Hogwarts Legacy, and yeah, don't shoot me down, people. And if anyone out there can think of games that we don't know that have great characters in them,
yeah,
then please let us know in the comments or anything else, because that would be fabulous so that we can check out those. Because there probably is a bunch of indie games that I'm just not aware of, some little Steam game or something, but obviously I'm thinking big picture. But yeah, I played Hogwarts Legacy and that character appeared, and I remember going, "Oh my gosh, this
yeah.
this is not what I expected in a good
Hmm.
way." And it felt, because obviously there's hundreds of people that work on that game that have nothing to do with anything
Of
of the
course.
furore of the drama around J.K. Rowling, which is why I
Right.
played it, because there's still people that have put thousands of hours into this that just are perfectly lovely people.
Yeah.
And so it felt like that character was almost a bit like of a, how shall I put it, like a fu to everything else that was going on, because it was quite blatant that this character stood out in such a way.
I the way I like I read it, and I could be wrong, but to me that was like the team saying, "Hey, like we see you, we see this
Hmm.
community, we recognize you. You deserve to be a part of this world just as much as anyone else." That's the way that it came off to me. I'm not super familiar with the development of the game, but I hope that's the
Yeah.
intention behind it was positive.
Yeah, me too. And I, yeah, all of that is just my assumption, like you. So I have no proof of it, but it's just, yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head with the fact that it definitely stands out as a character.
Yeah.
Um, Alrighty. Are there, so we've done gaming prescription. Are there any particular people out there in the world that you think, and it could be someone you've met or someone you don't know from afar, that you think, I would love to hear their saved by story or how games impacted them?
Mm, anyone that I know. I really need more gamer friends. This is so sad. I have one friend. His name is Paolo, but his like online name is Douglas Coffee. He has a podcast. He used to stream on Twitch.
Okay.
He's a big gamer, wonderful person to talk to. Elspeth Eastman is another friend of mine. She's a voice actress as well. She's a Twitch partner. Great, amazing woman. And then there's another streamer named Nimbly who is so sweet. And she plays like a little bit of competitive games, but it's mostly just like soft, easygoing, light, comfort games. So those three people, I think, are great folks to talk to. And then I have another friend named Nate, Boy Wonder Nate, who streams on Twitch all the time. He plays League of Legends. Very fabulous gay man. So yeah, I would say those people.
Nice. Thank you for that. And other things that I want to check are true or not true. This is
Mhm.
this is a good game. True or not true? Did you do a voice for Sarah Steele in Ravenwood Rising?
I did. That was me. Yes.
That was you. Okay, under a different name, like a pseudonym.
Yes, that's my like my gamer name. Yeah.
Okay.
Aphrodite. But yeah, I totally forgot to mention, how did I not say this? Wizard 101, one of my favorite games of all time. I love that game. I would love to voice something for them too. So yeah, please watch Ravenwood Rising if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, for those that don't know, so Ravenwood Rising is set in the world of Wizard 101. Okay, cool. So how did that come about? Was that through some connections that you'd made in the world that we're talking about, of like online and gaming friends, or how did that?
Sort of. I had saw from the creator, Fairy Queens. She's another amazing woman that she was starting this like show that was a community project, not just her community, but the Wizard 101 community. And she was going to be holding open auditions. And I'm like, you know what? I should just throw my hat in the ring and see what happens. And I'm very happy that I did. And I'm so grateful she gave me the opportunity to bring one of her characters to life.
Nice. Yeah, I was watching a bit of it earlier, obviously, because I was prepping, as you do, for these, because I'm a
Oh,
total pro. So you mentioned Warcraft, so it'd be remiss of me for all the Warcraft fans out there and Steph and everyone else to not ask what class you play predominantly in Warcraft.
okay. So
And do
I
you
would
still,
say,
sorry, do you
no,
still
no,
play
no.
Warcraft, or is that a past thing?
It's a past thing. Because the thing is, when it comes to MMOs, and you really want to progress far in one, you have to stay committed.
Hmm.
Whereas I love MMOs like MapleStory, Wizard 101, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14. I play too many damn MMOs. But when I first started playing World of Warcraft, which was around when is Burning Crusade the one when the Blood Elves came out? Or is that
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It was around that time. I picked Priest and I switched off between Priest, Mage, Druid, but I would say Priest is home to me. Shadow and Holy Priest.
Okay.
And people might not like this, but Alliance for life.
No,
I know.
no.
I know.
My gosh, you just broke my heart, Erin. You just broke my heart.
I love the Alliance. What can I say? I love
No,
Manduin.
no. I think yeah, that's it. Game over. But no, I was a holy priest. Very rarely flicked a shadow. I leveled holy when leveling holy was hard. But yeah, it was a great time in my life. Great time
Yeah.
in many ways. But you mentioned you're an MMO addict, though. So is there a current MMO that is on your like top of the list?
The most recent MMO I've been playing, I think, you know what? It hasn't been that much happening with MMOs lately.
Mm,
And I feel like I love the ones that I have in my roster, but I feel like with the MMO space in particular, like people are always on the search for the next best one. And I think it's because it's hard to make an MMO that will satisfy everybody.
yeah.
So if you or anyone else had recommendations, I'm all ears.
Okay. I think you probably played all the best ones. Like Final Fantasy 14 is obviously up there. Is still a great
Yes,
one.
it is.
Yeah, yeah. And all right, so some questions I asked a couple of other people recently, so let's make sure we hit all the benchmarks. So, game that you've put the most hours into. I'm pretty sure we might have already heard some of these names mentioned, but just to confirm,
League of Legends.
League of Legends, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Game that feels like a warm hug.
Kingdom Hearts.
I knew it. I should have written it down on a postcard or something and held it up because I knew that was going to be the answer. Yeah, and I think and we already did the game prescription, so that's all good. And I've loved all of this conversation so far, and I'm aware that I can't keep you all night, but I suppose I just wanted to double back and just make sure that we understand again why gaming is so important to both of us. And so, obviously, you mentioned it was a kind of savior for you a bit growing up, especially with going between two houses potentially, and then also not maybe feeling like you had as many connections in the real world. But is there so what I guess to summarize, what is the kind of overall impact that you feel that gaming has had on your life, I guess, in terms of your life journey, your transition, your just, I guess, the world? What does it mean to you and what's the overall impact for you? Do you think things would have been different without that, or do you think you would have found another outlet? And that's two questions in one.
I think gaming has made a very profound impact on my life through understanding myself, understanding what I like, understanding what I dislike, and finding aspects of myself that I love. And of course, it has impacted me in terms of finding community, friends, lifelong, short term. And it has definitely impacted my love for design, aesthetics, music. Yeah. I don't think I could imagine a life that I live like without gaming be a part of it in some way. It will always be there.
Yeah. And it's led you on to, or maybe it hasn't, maybe that just who you are as a person, but apparently I believe you're also studying still to be a mental health counselor. Is that correct?
I am. I'm taking my time with that just because after the coming out thing, some other opportunities have presented themselves, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to take advantage of that after not letting myself take advantage of those opportunities for a while.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm still very interested in mental health and at least getting that master's degree.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. And if nothing else, you've got gaming as your outlet, or to remind everyone that that's
Yeah,
also a great outlet.
it
But
is.
as I mentioned with a bunch of other people, it's important to remind everyone that just as like I suppose my health warning on every episode, that these
Yeah.
gaming is a great outlet and it's a great way to connect with people and also to escape, but you still need to deal with the problem, whatever the problems are, the
Mm,
challenges are. It's great to have the escape. At some point, you still need to face reality.
right. No, it's true. It's good to have a balance of fantasy and reality.
Yeah, yeah. And what I do realize is that we've learned that basically, because you need to experience more tabletop games in your life, we need everyone to move closer to you. And
Yes,
also,
please.
or at some point, just create an online D&D game or something that you can be part of,
Oh my
because
God.
that would also be great.
I would love that. Yes. Yeah, does, do TCGs count as tabletop gaming, you would say? Or,
Yeah, yeah, it's a tabletop.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
over the past couple months, I have been like making myself get into Magic the Gathering to play with my boyfriend and his friends and his family. So I've
okay.
really been enjoying that. I love card games, even digital card games. Love Hearthstone.
There you go. Okay, we were on the
Yeah.
tangent, but yeah, Magic the Gathering is definitely up on the list. But yeah, but see, now I also discovered that Steph at some point will play D&D. So now we have to just get like the whole
Yes.
band
Oh my
together and do
God. I
like a
would
D&D
love
game.
that. Please.
Imagine that. I might just be connecting the most intriguing circle of D&D players ever.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Next Vox Machina.
oh yeah. Oh my gosh, don't yeah. That'd be great. All right, Erin. So the one is that what game are you playing at the moment? It doesn't have to be an MMO or anything. What's your current thing?
My current thing, all the Hoyoverse games.
That's oh
Honkai
okay.
Star Rail. Yeah.
Okay.
ZZ Genshin.
And do you have to like calendar your week to schedule in all the events and all of the things? Are you juggling that? That's a balance issue right there.
Honestly, I log on, I do my dailies, I keep it cute. I really go in and play a bunch when there's a character that releases. They just had a character release the other day for Star Rail. Her name is Cyrene. Love her. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And if you could live in a particular gaming world, if you could be in one, which would it be? And we're probably, I feel like I should write it down again, but I don't.
It's a toughie. I feel like you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say.
Is it Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, I would
Yeah, okay.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just checking. We got there. I got there, people. It's fine. No, that's awesome. I'm gonna let you go for the day because it's been awesome. But if we'll put all of Erin's like socials, I think it's Instagram or anything else like that in there if people want to find you out there in the world. But it's not that hard because the world is a simple place. And I guess more than anything, Erin, just thank you for reaching out and wanting to have this conversation with me because it's been fab. Hopefully, it's not the last. You're welcome back
Aw.
anytime.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you for having me. It was an honor to be here.
No problem. And yeah, we'll have to see about getting together for whether it's D or Warcraft, going
Oh
back
my
through
God.
time or
I'm so
something.
down.
I haven't played
Yes.
Warcraft in years, but maybe I can resurrect myself. We shall see.
I would love that.
Cool. All right, everyone. Thank you to Erin. Thank you all for being here as always. Remember, you can check out all the previous episodes and remember to hit comment and subscribe and all that stuff and share the love on the episodes because it really helps us all find each other and celebrate the power of positive play with each other because that's what this channel is all about. And remember, more than anything, occasionally touch grass. And when you do, remember to hit save. And we'll see you next time. Okay. Bye, everyone. This show was brought to you by me, Ziggy Chris. So thanks very much for listening. You know how to do podcast things by now, so if you liked this, push the button, tell your friends, do all that jazz, and we'll see you next time. Take care.